it all comes like it's a very different thing. It's also all about endurance, right? Like it's a longer broadcast, it's a long tournament day as well. You have to try and work your way through it, work your way through multiple different opponents, and here we are. This is the climax of Copa Hyperion number 12. We didn't get to mention it earlier, but exclamation mark Maturino in the chat if you want to help support this tournament. I know all the codes have been used up.
The codes, yeah.
If you want to take it that step further, you can. But mate, take it away.
As we come on down to 98.5 Jagannatha LE, we're going to be spawning in the top right-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the top right-hand corner. The blue Zerg player coming down from the land of Brazil, looking to do his countrymen like Cosmos proud. He's going to be representing clan The Bad. You can notice it with its neat little face mask coming down over there. He is TheZergLord.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Jagannatha, we have his opponent, his fellow Brazilian, his Brasileño partner, also representing the same team, The Bad, rocking with that face mask. It is nanO. We're not doing the whole cast like that. I'm putting my foot down. I'm putting my foot down. We're not doing the whole cast like that.
This isn't NPR.
I could feel it. I could hear you. Your mind rotating like, oh mate, how long could I pull this up for? No. Oh god.
Even nanO is like, we gotta sort this one out, man.
God damn it, nanO. He's like, I refuse. This is happening. This has to happen. At least for one game.
Always be like, oh, look at that. The Banelings getting beautiful connections coming down. The micro has been completely phenomenal. I know I can, my brain can keep up with my mouth when I do that. It's a lot quicker when I do whatchamacallit. It's a lot quicker if I'm like, oh, look at that. Oh, my brain, I mean.
Oh, are you ready?
Oh, disculpa dio rium aquí.
Beautiful.
A little bit of latency there with the chat, but you know, as we are on the Brazilian server, we rarely get to be on the Brazilian server.
It's true. It's typically god awful for us. It is enough for us to observe, but I can't imagine playing on this.
I mean, it says people say, you know, even Brazilians, even if you live in Brazil, it's 50-50 whether or not it's going to be good ping.
Oh boy, definitely. And we shall see what happens here. Of course, Brazil is such a strong country in the Latin American scene. Of course, the number 2 player, arguably the number 2, Kelazur, has kind of established himself there for the longest time, alongside Juanito as top 2. Cham, in recent times, has been able to contest that a little bit, but they are still the top 3.
Absolutely. It's Mexico and Brazil very much that that carries that torch for Latin America, and then in between, you know, Chile has a very passionate scene, as you see from stuff like Rebirth. Colombia has a lot of its players like Eggs and whatnot, but it's a little bit more scattered, right? You have a couple of Bolivian players, you have a couple of Colombian players, a couple of Ecuadorian players. It's not quite like the dynamic Brazil and Mexico has.
Definitely.
Hello, Overlord.
Oh god, the Overlord is still here. Actually, he's not going anywhere.
It's on hold position.
Oh my god, he's like, no, I'm not moving.
You need to physically move me out if you want to be rid of me.
Oh my god, as the Overlord finally he notices question mark. What is even happening?
Oh, can I lift? Level rally! Oh, no! It was so close to dead air light.
Ay. Overlord, please, it gets taken out. The ZergLord is actually supply blocked a little bit. Oh, but we see a massive wave of Lings coming out.
So many Lings. So that wall is not quite a wall yet. I will say this supply cap does hurt ZergLord so much. And now it's scouted with that Adept.
Yeah, and you know what? There's no shield battery behind this. Ooh, the probe is coming in here, looking to try and wall off as best it can.
Yeah, and doing a decent job. A lot of these Lings distracted with that one Adept. Void Ray coming in, and you absolutely want the Void Ray over the Oracle in this scenario. They deal with Lings so quickly, and you don't got to worry about energy.
Oh, that they do.
But
you know
still
what?
A lot of Lings.
The gateway does go down. There is a secondary wall though. An Oracle pops out, and it looks like with this Oracle, the Lings are going to be cleaned up, even with these reinforcements. Like, just nanO is too good with the SimCity.
Wants to break. Yeah, the ZergLord wants to break in, but he is not getting it. Beautiful planning coming out for nanO. By planning, I mean city planning, because I heard SimCity in there. But he knew exactly. It was like in his head, he could see exactly what he needed to place down. Very forward thinking from nanO, and ZergLord, he just cannot break his way in.
He cannot.
He does have 3 bases, but he has not built any drones. He might have to GG. There we go.
GG nanO looking to submit this replay to stats to become one with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I'm not sure if his PvP, if his adherence to Stalker Zealot is going to be an issue.
Very true, very true. But the ZergLord, again, we know him as a very aggressive Zerg player. He went for the all-in. He cut workers at 21, but it was not enough to break nanO.
No, it is not. Now we're going on to Hora de Muerte. Let's see if it is. By the way, shout out here to Marcelocken. I believe that's how it's pronounced. Marcelocken.
Marcelo.
Marcelo. Yeah. Like that character from the Vampire. No, not the Vampire Diaries, the originals. Appreciate the translation. Yeah. Sorry, it went bad here.
Thank you so much. Also, I want to touch on this. A bit of a Eric was brought up. Eric, God damn it, Eric.
What has Eric been up to lately? I feel like I haven't seen him in a while.
Eric spent the majority of 2019 in Korea practicing with Juanito.
He did. I remember that.
There was so much hype around Eric, and then he went back to school. And in 2020, like
no.
Before we get into the introductions, Eric, back in 2018, 2019, 2017, Eric was solidly like the number 4 player in Latin America. Straight up, he was number 4. But in 2020, that number 4th spot has been shaken up. We've seen Jim get up there, we've seen Eric get up there, we've seen even Eggs kind of like try and fight for that as well. It's why like Eric used to be the online champion. He used to be in every single Sentimental Latino, every single Copa Hyperion, but he's missing. He left us when we needed him most.
Education, man, it's ruining esports for everyone lately. As he spawns to the top left-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way to the top left-hand corner of Def Aura LE. We're here in the top left-hand corner, spawning all the way in the top left. The Blue Zerg player coming out from Brazil, gonna be representing clan The Bad. We have TheZergLord.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Death Aura LE, we have the Brazilian Protoss player, the Red Protoss, also representing Team The Bad. Already up 1-0 in this best of 5. It is nanO.
I might have leaned in my chair to confirm if it's a C or an O from Marcelo. I was like, oh, maybe it's Marcelo.
Yeah. I mean, I remember because I said his name. I think it was like last week. I was like Marcel. He's like, no, it's Marcelo. I'm like, oh, okay.
CCN is like, it's like how streamers put TV at the end of their name, or SC2.
And he's CNN or CCN. Yeah. There you go.
It's a Brazilian counterpart.
Oh boy.
Live Carnival coverage.
Exactly. That's what it's all about. As nanO once again I just okay. I gotta switch gears because we had like a PvP, then we had a ZVZ. We're back in this PvZ, and again, nanO. He's a terrifying macro Protoss. Like he wants to get up in that sky toss, and Jim was all about trying to stop that from happening. The TheZergLord as well. That's why he went for that Lingo lane, and it just didn't work out for him.
Yeah, these teammates, they know each other pretty dang well. Know their strengths and weaknesses and whatnot, and what to try to exploit. But it turns out nanO may have been working on those weaknesses quite a bit.
Definitely. We'll see what the TheZergLord has, or what his answer is going to be. Like, again, is he one to go for the German taxi? Is he one to like go for those Queen Dropper Lords? Is he going to go for a Hydra all-in? Is he going to try and go to the late game against nanO? Personally, I don't think so, but it could happen.
Yeah, I mean, how would you characterize the TheZergLord? If you could talk about his playstyle a little bit. Because when I think of Latin American players, you know, there's Cham, who is an aggressive guy. There's Jim Rising, who is the king of the mutas. You have Eggs, who is a bit more of a well-rounded, sort of balanced player. You have who else can I remember off the top of my head? El Condor, who is I don't even know about that guy. He's in the sky. I cannot comprehend him.
Yeah, I would say Ryu, he's known for his Ling Hydra Viper style, Hydra Lurker Viper.
Definitely.
Very
Viper 100%.
Yeah, very European-esque since he does live in Italy.
Oh, he is Italy, yeah.
Yeah. When it comes to the TheZergLord, it is about his Ling Bane aggression. You know, again, it goes to show in game one, right? Like he's an incredibly aggressive player, goes for as many all-ins as he can. I have seen him in macro-oriented games before. Every now and then, and when I see it, it's amazing. It's always a treat to see, but I do kind of categorize him as that aggressive player. So I don't know how that's going to work out against nanO. It's possible that he may be forced to be more macro oriented here.
Oh, and I gotta tell you, Light, a macro game between these two, that is where you really get to see the just the extent of mechanical play and how I can really be that creep tumor that not. What? Now it's it.
Oh, the creep tumor does get taken out. Meanwhile, as we see that double Stargate production is getting into the swing of things, and where is the anti-air for the TheZergLord? Oh my god, the Queen! No! The TheZergLord, please! Please kill him!
What is going on today? Feeling a little self-destructive here.
Oh my god.
The Overlord, not a Queen?
Really? He just wanted to keep his energy down to avoid feedbacks on his queens, you know, the high-level plays.
Yeah. You always got to keep that in mind, especially when you're 5 minutes in, you know? The Templar, they can drop in from any point.
They can. Oh boy. Okay, so the TheZergLord, he keeps his queen alive. It's all good. It's fine. We see +1 is on the way. He is opting to go for the Hydras, so that will be his tech of choice.
In a ZVP, all right. Well, we saw how Jim Rising sort of approached this against nanO when he went for his Hydra style. But I would have to imagine that the TheZergLord is a lot more comfortable with Hydras than Jim Rising would be.
Yeah, definitely. We shall see whether the TheZergLord goes for a timing, if he throws down. Oh my god, he's doing it. He's throwing down the infestation pit.
Yeah, love to see it. See if he decides to go into lurkers later on, or if he's just gonna go straight Hydra Infester.
And we have seen players do it before, try and utilize that microbial shroud to help support the Hydras, but it can be difficult to pull off. Meanwhile, the TheZergLord, he's keeping an eye on that fourth base and making sure his things are there to deny it, make nanO work for it. Meanwhile, nanO, he's slowly macroing up. Storm is on the way. Charge +1.
Yeah, really starting to ramp up to, that position that we sort of recognize nanO is at his peak strength in when we talk about in-game positions.
Yeah, definitely. And we do see that the TheZergLord, like, there's the tech. We were talking about it. He is going for lurkers, not being too greedy and going straight like Hydra Viper or Hydra Infestor. So he is playing this out a little bit more standard. But again, like, is he going to be able to pull this off against nanO? We talk about Deathlord all the time. It's so easy to get a 4th base up. And nanO, he's got his 4th. It's going to be on the TheZergLord, I guess, to try and contain him to 4 bases and not allow him to get a 5th. Hope to, like, get the best fight of his life out in the center of the map.
Yeah, it could be a bit of a tough ask when you're up against Sky Toss like this. But this is kind of the downside of what nanO is trying to go for, isn't it? TheZergLord has so much more opportunity to expand because nanO just doesn't have any map control.
True, very true. That's the advantage that the TheZergLord has, is that map control to try and make nanO work for those expansions, work for those 5th bases when he does try and get them. But as we see, since nanO is nicely like snuggled in this corner of the map, right, the fleet beacon just finished up, carrier production is commencing. This is something
that's gonna have to hit a timing pretty soon.
Yeah, this is something that a lot of Zerg players have been talking about. Like, it's so hard to break this. We saw Jim do it, but Jim had to be fancy. He had to go mutas first and like try to force his opponent to make Phoenixes and delay the carriers. We've seen like people like Cyril struggle against this.
Definitely have seen Solar struggle.
When I think of a struggling Zerg player, I'm gonna think of Solar. That's yeah.
I'm never gonna live that. I'm never gonna let him live that one down. I mean, he does have a bit of a point, to be fair.
But you know, it isn't like it's unwinnable. Like, we have seen Zerg players like be able to pull it off. We'll see. As the TheZergLord himself is refining his army, he is working on those Vipers. Eventually he will have his ideal army that he's going to want to engage with. It's going to be all about them abducts.
Very much will. Not too many carriers out right now, but that's a lot of energy on those Templar, like.
That's the scary thing about nanO's style. Like, what is this? 6 high Templar, almost full energy on all of them. Like, that's
an Archon to boot.
Yeah, that's so many storms.
Round it all off. Alright, TheZergLord is now maxed out. He does have to be very careful with how he decides to engage this. There's really no easy way to try to force nanO to, you know, come out of that very heavily fortified position and fight in even ground.
Like, this is not where you want to fight. Up a ramp, into a wall, into side defense, into the Protoss army. Like, you have to try and find another angle.
He's bringing queens to this fight. TheZergLord does not want this game to go on for too much longer. A lot of lurkers ready to nuzzle in. Good abduct over there, and the Templar are very far into the back, but they get just in range to take out so many Hydras.
Oh yeah, the storms are on point. The lurkers are pushing their way through, and it looks like they are the dominant force on the ground. Not quite enough interceptors to really deal with this. Oh, and he's pushing on forward. He's getting into the high ground.
Oh, and he does want to come in, but so many storms that cannot be understated. Oh, really good snipe over there on one of those Templar.
But it looks like
the parasitic bomb helping out so much.
Exactly. What's important, every single high Templar was taken out by the lurkers, but it looks like there is just not enough Zerg, just barely enough Protoss, as the final lurker is going to be taken out. Oh, or is it? He's trying to get the detection.
Did the observers get sniped? I believe they have. There's still an Oracle here. We're going to pop a Revelation. And that was a lot of losses here for the TheZergLord, but keep in mind, he has a massive bank. He's just spent that gas bank trying to get these Hydra Lurkers back up and running, but this is kind of a strategy for now, you know, try to slam his head into the wall until he eventually cracks nanO. Again, he managed to take out a lot of Templar of that. Yeah, until someone cracks.
Oh boy, I mean, to be fair, the TheZergLord can do this because he does have the high Vespene gas. I think he needs the second high Vespene gas as well, as this is like such a gas-intensive army. It looks like he has given up trying to push up the ramp, which I feel like makes sense, as his opponent is looking to expand and take that 5th.
Yeah, TheZergLord needs to recognize that and try to contain nanO even further. More Pretty good snipe over there, but man, that was ballsy for nanO.
That was the last Viper
targeting
as well.
Down those Vipers. Yeah, targeting down that Viper. I'm sorry, Viper, singular, with those carriers. He's out of interceptors, which makes this a lot more awkward, but he still has plenty of storms available to him. And the TheZergLord's army very much bunched up.
Yeah, definitely. But he was able to deny that 5th base, which is the point of this attack. Meanwhile, at the same time, nanO does go for a big Zealot run by. This hatchery is going to be focused down.
And this is the key hatchery here for the TheZergLord. He needs that Vespene gas count. Every time TheZergLord gets to something like 500 gas, he spends it all in the blink of an eye trying to get Lurkers or Hydras.
Exactly that. That is a heavy loss there, as this War Prison does pay for itself, taking out that hatchery. Meanwhile, I mean, he does succeed in containing nanO to 4 bases, so pretty good job so far. And we do see the TheZergLord is going for that transition into Corruptors.
Absolutely what you want over here. Not much of a ground army remaining here for nanO. Pretty much just those Templar and the occasional Zealot run by.
Yeah, pretty much. There are a couple of Archons to buffer as well, so you do have to be careful. It looks like nanO is looking to expand over on the left-hand side once again, at the same time applying pressure here to the right, finally moving out from his bases.
Yeah, you have to be careful with how he engages this. Almost losing all of his High Templar. And if he did, that would have just been done game for TheZergLord.
Meanwhile, the Lurker is waddling away. He's trying to deny the 5th.
I can borrow time. There's no detection. There's no detection.
Oh, nice Lurker move here. It looks like, you know, if left unchecked, it will take out this base. The Oracle is forced to go back and respond.
Throw around that reveal, let that Zealot come in. Surprisingly, the Pylon stays alive.
Surprisingly, meanwhile,
there's a pylon.
Yeah, there is a bit of a Zealot run by being set up, but there is a defensive Lurker, so he should be okay. Meanwhile, nanO is working on those rocks, looking to break through here and push up into that high, rich Vespene base.
Which has a lot going for it.
Oh, that he does. And what's scary about the TheZergLord is that he doesn't have a lot of creep. Even Jim would have been already at like the front door of his opponent. Meanwhile, the TheZergLord is like struggling to get halfway across the map with this, so it's so much more difficult for him to engage the army in the center of the map.
Yeah, it very much is. But that doesn't stop him from trying.
Yeah, and he successfully denies the 5th base again.
Yeah, very nicely done. These Archons getting so much value though. I didn't even realize that I don't get these.
Yeah, I think he just like turned all of his High Templar into Archons and just like morphed in another wave of High Templars. Yeah, the Archons are going to be going down. They are. Out. Yeah,
very good concave. No, all army hockey.
Yeah. That's actually a pretty big win for the TheZergLord.
Definitely a rip.
Yeah, like he takes.
Look at the gas bank for nanO.
It's non-existent, mate.
It's non-existent.
He's like, we're getting to the point where he desperately needs a 5th base. Like, he needs an expansion, and the TheZergLord knows this. That's why he keeps sending these run-bys across the map, and really, the denial of this base is winning TheZergLord the game.
Definitely is. 100% win condition right now. Eventually, nanO, he's gonna have to move out across the map, try to get a lot of damage done to keep TheZergLord back and in a state of rebuilding like nanO is right now. But it's not quite getting there. nanO is even maxed out.
Oh my god, and you know what? nanO is out of position. He moved his entire army to try and get his 5th base up and running, and as a result, he's going to lose his 3rd.
Oh, you got recall, please! Doesn't get the recall.
Wow.
He's slowly moving his way.
The TheZergLord, he is currently doing what Jim could not, just pulling nanO apart. nanO down to 3 bases, barely 3 bases. He's starting to mine out.
Very, very rapidly, honestly. And I was trying to get that base up and running over in the southwestern position, but again, that would have been a lot better if he could still continue to mine gas from his 3rd.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we'll see. So the TheZergLord, he has vision of this 5th base that is being taken, so he knows what his next thing that he has to focus on. But once again, nanO, he's pulled all the way to the left-hand side. The TheZergLord finds the opportunity to move into the right.
Digging out the detection once again. Pretty good Oracle tag, but yeah, how much is that really gonna do? Oof. Archon's providing a very nice buffer here for these High Templar.
I love the Lone Lurker harass. It's great.
Lurkers. Yeah. You're dragging him back and forth.
Now, to be fair, like, we keep talking about how, like, nanO, he's starting to get starved out, but at the same time, his main army is still terrifying. Like, this is still a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, the TheZergLord isn't quite at that mineral bank that he'd like to be at, where you can start just inefficiently throwing wave after wave of units at nanO, till eventually he cracks.
He wants to be there, and he has so many corruptors, maybe enough to start one-shotting the carriers, and he's almost goes in.
Yeah, unfortunately this time I don't see a Viper.
It looks like there's a Viper in there, but he gets focused down.
Out. This is going to be a lot trickier for TheZergLord to engage into, especially since his corruptors are super bunched up.
Exactly. And with that, the TheZergLord, in a blink of an eye, just those 3 bases. He was trying to expand here to the right, he was double expanding, both got taken out, and this center base does as well.
And that Rich Vespine guys are already used up. TheZergLord spending his entire minimal bank on this.
Oh, that he is, as nanO, he's just pushing into the center of the map, just kind of looking to end the game here. Meanwhile, Ultra's popped out.
It's so dangerous, though. Yeah, there are Ultras out there. They're looking to try to hug these High Templar as best they can. nanO realizes this, quickly trying to get a bit of a Archon buffer and trying to target down those Ultralists with his Void Ray so that they don't actually take out the moneymaker, that being the Storms.
Oh, that he is, and now he's diving in. He does snipe one carrier, but does back off. Meanwhile, the Ultras are trying to get on top of the High Templar.
I think the Templar have been taken out here. It is just Archons remaining underground, but the air army is still terrifying for TheZergLord.
Yeah, now he's trying to focus down the carriers. The problem is that there's a decent amount of Void Rays here, and it looks like the Corruptors get taken out. GG gets called.
I thought TheZergLord was focusing too much on the infrastructure there with, not TheZergLord, sorry, nanO was focusing too much on the infrastructure there with his Void Rays. Turns out he didn't even need them! Corruptor taken out and there was no anti-air remaining. nanO pulling his stats.
Yeah, again, like, not just nanO pulling his stats, but the TheZergLord investing too much in the anti-ground army, right? Like, he made a wave of Ultras. Once he took out the ground army, they would just waste his supply. Like, he needed to take down those carriers, and he just didn't have enough.
Yeah, to be fair, I think it would have been a tricky position there regardless for the TheZergLord. He was a very corruptor-based army, going up against full interceptor carriers and a bunch of Void Rays. But yeah, I mean, what, 7 Ultralists towards the end there, when really, as a Zerg player, you want like 3?
It's always difficult to find that balance between anti-air and anti-ground, right? Like, there are so many times where, oh god, he made too many Corruptors, now he has a bunch of dead supply. Or in this case, he made too many Ultras, now he has a bunch of dead supply. You know, it's like, it's difficult to find that. And the TheZergLord, we saw he wasn't quite there. The carriers reign supreme.
They've arrived.
The carriers arrived.
We're going into what I read as Nuance LE, but no, it's Nunas. Oh, so it's Lightshade.
Nuna?
Also, chat is speaking English but using Portuguese grammar? Question mark?
Chat.
What I'm gathering.
Chat went full Portuguese for a while there. I looked over at chat and my eyes glazed over. I'm like, I have no idea what is happening here. I need Cosmos help. Oh god.
Shaking my head as we load on into Lightshade LE. We're here in the top left-hand corner map, starting all the way to the top left-hand corner map. We have the Blues player going 12 pool, representing Clan Debat, coming down all the way from Brazil, he is TheZergLord.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the Brazilian Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Team The Bad. Already up 2-0 in this best of 5. He just needs one more. He needs to hold against his 12 pool. It is nanO.
All right, turning up the aggression once again. The TheZergLord is.
Oh yeah, and he got scattered. He got probe scattered. Oh god.
That's an F in the chat from me.
Okay, so the TheZergLord, like, he is still going for that expansion. We'll see how much damage he can get done with these lings as he is going across the map. But nanO already working on his wall, I imagine, going to be chronoing out his Zealot.
Try to anyway, not actually. There's the Zealot coming on the way. And Probe, of course, in position just in case this Zealot ain't out quick enough.
Exactly, getting ready to throw down that pylon to wall off his opponent, even pulling out a couple more boys.
It's really a lot of probes, jeez. I guess he just wants to do this Zealot dance without having to worry too much about walling off. Now this is starting to get a little bit iffy, right, in terms of who's ahead.
Oh god, the Zealot!
Oh, more legs are coming in. It gets surrounded, light, but it does manage to survive somehow. I was gonna say this gets a little bit iffy because, you know, nanO is gonna have a better time defending, but also losing some mining time. Those probes literally saved that Zealot's life. Now there's the second Zealot coming out.
Exactly, like those probes, specifically that Zealot, is greased up. Like somehow it straight up got surrounded by the lings and was able to just slip past them all. The probes were there to back him up. Wow.
Wow. Something else, yeah.
Oh god, and with that, nanO, he defends beautifully. He's ahead in workers. His expansion is delayed, to be fair, but he held well.
He did, and because of that, we have a game on our hands.
We do have a game. The Adept is across the map looking to deal some damage, but so far hasn't been able to kill a worker. Up.
Still not quite able to take out a worker there, but pretty close.
Very close indeed, as the TheZergLord has to catch up in that gas count, as so far, like, he did skip all of his gases for the longest time, so we'll see what he works towards. Meanwhile, nanO, he's just getting into his game.
Indeed, he is. So, what are we thinking, like, Stargate? Yep, Stargate coming down.
Yeah, Stargate on the way. Once like nanO's just doing nanO things, right? This is something that he did against Jim Rising. He's done it already against the TheZergLord, just going for his Skytoss style, just macroing up, getting into that late game. It's all about what the TheZergLord is going to do to try and stop that, right? Like, if any, can he stop it? Jim couldn't.
I'm gonna say German taxi, but then again, the 12 pool kind of throws a wrench in there.
That's the thing, right? Like, it feels like the TheZergLord kind of put himself behind a little bit. He did force like a little less mining time. He did force the Zealots out and like the Nexus to be delayed. So like there was some indirect damage, I guess. Is it enough though?
Not quite yet, but we'll see if he can continue to just stack this up and get more little bits of damage here and there. Then yeah, that's up.
Yeah, definitely, as the initial Void Ray is out. We do have the Oracle on the way as well. The TheZergLord, it looks like he is going to be ready for this. He scouts the Stargate. We already got Spores on the way. He should be perfectly fine, at least against the initial air units.
Yeah, Oracle not really going to be doing too much in the ways of getting drone kills. It's no shield battery, but a Spore is enough of a deterrent that you gotta keep some of your drones alive.
Definitely, and we'll see what the plan is here for the TheZergLord. He is throwing down a Roach Warren, which is a little bit peculiar. Oh god, the Adepts are getting in.
They managed to get in, have a bit of multi-prong coming down for nanO. And as you see, or as we often see, just a handful of adepts can absolutely ruin the Zerg players there. So TheZergLord taking that super seriously, splitting up his army nicely, only losing 3 drones.
Oh, yeah, that he does. Meanwhile, the second Stargate is about to finish up. Mate, we got double Void Ray production on the way. And this is what I was curious about. Roach speed. Interesting.
Interesting. Against Sky Toss?
He's just,
okay.
I imagine he's just gonna go for an all-in. Then we have 3 queens on the way as well. Mate, we're gonna see a queen roach push.
That we will. I don't believe you see any drop lords yet, so not quite the taxi, but it shouldn't take too long to get them.
Yeah, it's a little bit odd because I imagine he's gonna want to try and set up a highway of some sort, but because of the void rays, like there aren't any overlords out on the map to help out with that.
9 drones. That's, again, goes to show how much 3 adepts can really get done. This is a subway.
My god, someone wake up group, as we do have the Polish subway on the way. Again, that's a lot of queens, plenty of energy for transfuse. There's no vision across the map though, which is a little bit concerning. He needs to try and send something out.
There's a little bit of vision, but yeah, not in the most ideal of places. The thing that kind of worries me for nanO is he went in with his depths. He saw very saturated bases. If he's not caught up on everything, then he might just think that this is, going to be a macro game out.
Yeah.
But he's taking this fairly seriously. He's getting a bunch of cannons.
He is getting a couple of defensive structures here. It's not in the ideal place. His army is out of position. The Nidus is about to pop up. Mate, the TheZergLord has a pretty nice opportunity here.
Yeah, at the very least, he'll be able to take that 3rd base. The Void Race is so far away. Immediately turn around once they hear the scream of Nidus. And this might be the TheZergLord's game.
Exactly. We do see the queens and the roaches are going to be pushing on forward. What is there on the ground? Barely anything. It's going to be all about the Void Race to try and defend.
And Void Race, they don't do too well against queens. Prismatic alignment, that does not have any effect on non-armored units.
That they do not. And there's plenty of energy for transfuses as all the entire ground army gets taken out for nanO. There are 2 Colossus on the way as we do have double robot production, but is it going to be enough?
That is absolutely the question. The roach count is starting to thin out. Really utilizing the battery overcharge here. Here's the funny thing about queens. They don't actually have a lot of damage output. So they can sustain your army, they can tank a lot of damage. They cannot be the only thing in your army.
Oh god.
They are not going to kill anything.
The Colossus are here. The Nidus did just finish up. Where are the reinforcements? That's what we need right now for the TheZergLord. He needs to support this army. Or does he? Mate, the shield batteries are out of energy.
Getting a little bit even. They are completely out of energy. No overcharge available whatsoever here in this base. The Colossus somehow still standing strong. Another Colossus on the way. A lot of probes starting to go down.
And here come the reinforcements. The roaches just barely come out from the Nidus. The Colossus does go down. Only 1 Void Ray remaining. And it looks like the 3rd is going to go down. And the TheZergLord is fighting back in this series.
Yeah, taking out that 3rd base isn't going to be the end of the game, but it definitely might as well be. It puts nanO so far behind.
That it does.
But the anti-air is going to get dealt with.
Yeah. I mean, they're just barely queens here. It looks like the overcharge is keeping these Void Rays alive, but at the same time, the roaches are pushing on into the natural, trying to end the game, but the Colossus is just barely coming out in time.
What a body block coming up over here. We're still alive, and that's going to be it. GG. TheZergLord fighting back in this series.
GG, well played, the TheZergLord. He puts a point on the board. It was a rough one. I was very concerned, but he makes the subway work. He gets there across the map. nanO had no idea that it was coming, and now we're going to be getting into game 4. I was worried this was going to be a 3-0, mate.
I wasn't. I never doubted.
Oh boy, and we'll see. We'll see if this is going to be the start of the comeback. We'll see if the ZergLord can maintain this momentum here, or if it was just a one-off thing.
Well, we're on Pilares de Oro.
We are. Are we going to see the taxi?
We might. Every time I hear the countdown beep after it goes to 0, I get paranoid.
Do you get paranoid that you're going to, that like the game is going to crash?
It's never gonna end. Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair.
It's gonna keep going. Keep beeping. As we load in now onto PvZ, LE, holding up something or another. LE. We're here in the top right-hand corner map, starting all the way in the top right-hand corner. The blue Zerg player coming down to the land of Brazil. He's going to be representing Clan The Bad. We have TheZergLord.
And spawning in the bottom left, thank you so much, Marcelo, for the 500 bits. We have the Brazilian Protoss, the red Protoss, representing also Team The Bad. It is nanO.
Shout out to Marcelo. I think that's what he said. That's how you pronounce it.
Oh yeah, he was talking about how like you pronounce it as like a H instead of an R.
Yeah.
Marcelo. God.
Marcelo. Marcello. This is Marcello.
Marcello.
Merchandising.
I apologize that we are butchering your name 3 different ways. Oh god, Portuguese is not our native language.
Apparently it stands for Little Warrior, if the originals is anything to be believed.
Ah.
Looking it up now.
I was just typing in the chat. Oh god, and Starduck, welcome Starduck to the broadcast. A couple of question marks being thrown out there as to why Colossus instead of Disruptors.
I got a couple of question marks myself. Why did I read Colossus as Colusora?
It's too much. The Portuguese and the English is just melding in your brain into one language.
Soon I will create Monk E.
What? Are you still thinking about Kong versus Godzilla?
I am.
Why? Why is that something you've latched onto? I got no idea, mate.
Because King Kong is monkey.
He is. He's macaco, if you will.
Yeah. Also, it was just something I thought about. It was just something I was wondering about. I was like, yo, are we Team Kong or Team Godzilla, guys? Am I right? And then I saw the gorilla on Macaco, and I was like, oh, I can bring it back up.
Ah.
And now it's my life.
God damn it. We'll see.
And the void ray open.
Yeah, we'll see if the trend continues. This is what we expect from nanO. nanO's just playing out his regular game that we expect to see. We saw Nidus play come out from the ZergLord. What are we gonna see here? Are we gonna see more of the same? I'm still waiting for the German taxi, right? Like that's what I want to see from him.
Well, we saw the subway coming down. So yeah, I would like him to take every form of travel, right? Mm-hmm. Next he does the German taxi, then he takes the Mexico or the Mexican motorcycle. No, not motorcycle. I was thinking, how do you combine motorized? How do you shorten motorized bicycle? I was like,
there's a word for it.
Like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I just can't remember. I'll be honest. Like there is a word for it.
Because it's not like a motorbike.
Yeah.
It's like literally a bicycle that has an engine.
Yeah, I mean, Like, as in, like, there was a word that we referred to it as when I was in Latin America, in Peru, but it's been so long, I can't remember it. But I'm really curious as to what the ZergLord is going to whip out, because he did go for a pretty early lair before any other tech structure. He doesn't have that much gas, so I guess, yeah, he's just going into Hydras.
Might as well immediately get scouted over here by nanO. Let's see if he cancels that and switches to the Spire. He can't switch to the Spire. He doesn't have enough gas for it.
Oh god. Meanwhile, hey, he's confirming how you were pronouncing his name.
Ah.
Oh god.
Marcelo. Not Marcelo.
Oh god. Oh god.
It's smooth and Brazilian. Like when you carve into a Brazil nut.
Oh god, we're gonna kill him.
Nice little Coca-Cola desk.
Copacabana?
Or a Brazil wood desk. Yeah. Coca-Cabana.
There we go. Pina colada.
How it goes? Yeah. Pina de pizza.
By the way, if you're interested
nanO's pretty much doing the same thing as he did in the previous games.
That's what we can say about nanO at this point. It's like,
mate, honestly, it's like the ZergLord is switching things up. He's trying Hydra timings.
Yeah, he actually is though. Like again, it was a much faster Hydra den. He is working on Hydra speed, and there is no Evo chamber for +1. Like, he just wants nothing but Hydras at the moment. So we'll see if nanO can scout this and can realize what's happening. Like, what he really needs to do is get into that third and look at the worker count. Or just catch the Hydras in the middle of the map.
Which is a little bit awkward when your third, yeah. When your third is, what's it called? In your natural.
Mm-hmm. Alright, here we go. The Hydras are moving out across the map. So the Queens.
Alright, let's see the defense, nanO! Oh, is he gonna do it? Oh, I'm a little bit worried here. I feel like the Lings were a little bit needlessly thrown away. Beautiful force fields coming out from nanO. And this timing, it's just kind of stifled.
It just got slapped down, mate. Oh, the void
rays are wonky.
It's a little bit wonky, a little bit off center, as it looks like nanO, he was a little bit too aggressive with his void rays. He does get pushed back. We got more reinforcements. There we go. The Queens are waddling across the map as well. We'll see if the ZergLord can somehow make this work, but there's just so many shield batteries here at the third.
Yeah, there are, but what is the damage output for the nanO? And it's not looking too good. Somehow able to warp in just as that soccer falls. He's still going to be maintaining that line. No shield batteries in the natural, but there's just still a bit too much in the... My god, that Hydra was paralyzed.
It was frozen in fear, didn't know what to do. Meanwhile, there are just so many void rays. If nanO wanted to, he could just go toe-to-toe with this small, meager amount of Hydras. It's barely anything here for the ZergLord. He's got 2 Queens that transfuse in a dream.
Yeah, I feel like the timing was a little bit off here for the ZergLord. He didn't quite fight with his entire army. A little bit split off, but then again, there is also something to be said about nanO, right? About how good his force fields were, how well he was able to split up this army, and it looks like GG's call. nanO is going to be taking this game. He will be your Copa Hyperion number 12 champion. Accidentally right. GG is called. What a showing by nanO. I gotta say, so what impressed me the most throughout the games that we've seen specifically from Jim Rising as well as the ZergLord, the PvZs, is his defensive play. How well he just react to what his Zerg opponents are throwing at him.
Exactly. Like, the scouting of nanO was on point. He was able to see the move out as it began, and with that, he was able to stifle it. He was able to throw down all the shield batteries. They didn't even come into play. He didn't even fight at his third. He was fighting outside his natural, so the shield batteries were there as a backup plan, just in case he was forced back, but he didn't even need it. GG, well played. nanO shows his dominance here in this matchup in Latino America. And as you said, he is our champion.
Yeah, it's not Cham.
Ooh, not Cham.
I don't know, yeah.
Oh boy.
What's the thing we can do from that? nanO? We can't. That's why Champ is such a good ID, because you could like pun it with champion or champ.
You could, yeah. Champion Nunez or
and he lives up to that.
He does, you know. Fun fact, Cham, he could have signed up for this as well. Like, all Latin American players can sign up for Copa Hyperion, but Cham was not here. Not this week.
He was afraid.
He's afraid.
He looked at nanO and he thought, mate, if TheZergLord can't take him out, if Jim can't take him out, no way I can.
Yeah, he backed off. He wanted none of that. Congratulations, nanO, on being our champion, and you know, congratulations to TheZergLord as well on being our runner-up. I do also want to give a bit of a shout out as well to Loki. Like, Loki, it was the first time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. First time that we casted him.
Hype. I think somebody pointed out in chat a little earlier that his micro looked very, very good, but maybe because of that, the macro kind of slipped up a little bit, you know, banking a little bit too many resources. I think if he works on that and then works on, you know, a way to be able to do both, which easier said than done, am I right? But if he does manage to get both of them on about the same level, he'll be looking very scary in the Latin American scene.
Oh yeah, definitely. I am looking forward to seeing the Chileans in the next Rebirth tournament. It will be next week. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to see Crown, Loki, Dastan, some of the older guys like Halfbreed and Jarpi show up as well. Maybe Darkness will make a little bit of a return for it. I hope so. Regardless, there is a Chilean tournament.
Like, I just decided not to include the Stan in there. In your list.
It'd be nice if he showed up, I guess.
He's like your grandchild who you're like, you know, if he shows up, that's cool, but yeah, no expectations, you know?
For sure. But I mean,
that
I hope
one member in the family.
I hope he shows up as well.
Like,
I mean, much love to Dastan for as much as we funara him.
Hard. He is the most funara member of the chat.
He is, and I mean, for a reason. Let's be real here. Oh god.
Well, we do really appreciate him.
We do. And as we close.
I think we couldn't be, or at least I wouldn't be as motivated to do what I do if it wasn't like people like the Stan cheering us on.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's all about the support that we do get. We do really appreciate it. And speaking of, if you want to see more of us, our next broadcast, as I just set it up in the chat, will be tomorrow with Batalla de las Americas, Battle of the Americas, in 18 hours.
Marcelo is telling us that we can't use the Spanish translation, that we have to use the Portuguese one.
America Latina. There you go. Interesting that it goes from Latino to Latina. Interesting.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we'll be live with Battle of the Americas tomorrow. I'll be casting that alongside Milk and Cookies, so do tune into that if you want some more Latin American StarCraft.
I ain't gonna be in bed until 4 p.m.
That's fair.
Or something like that.
That is fair. But before we head off, Yaku, who are you? Where can people find more of you before you end yourself, as your reports and your assignments are on the horizon?
Write a journal third person. Who does that? But Twitch.tv/Yakuzaku1. Eyes out for next week. Yeah, around next week, 2 weeks from now, as there's gonna be a little bit of a break between my terms. It's not gonna be too long, so I will try to stream. I might not stream ladder, but yeah, there are a couple of games that I think might be interesting to stream. Twitter.com @EmporiaYakuzaku! Discord in the chat. Find myself as well as the other members of CranKy, like Light, like Kuro, who for some reason has not gone to bed. God damn it!
Oh my god!
Narakuru, well, you're there. And apart from that, buy my shirts. Where can I find you, Light?
Light_VIP on Twitch and Twitter, as I put the command in el chat. There it is. So you can follow me there. I do stream occasionally throughout the week. It's been a lot of Final Fantasy throughout the week, and also some ladder sessions or behind the scenes streams whenever I can fit them in. But more importantly, follow us here on the CranKy Ducklings. You can see all of our social media on the screen right now: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Discord. And you can see that we are live throughout the week with plenty of StarCraft. You can see our weekly schedule. We've got it all. So if you're a fan of StarCraft, if you enjoyed our casting even a little bit, hit that follow button, you know, and check out our VODs on YouTube. Everything is there. So yeah, you can enjoy all of that lovely StarCraft, whether it's Latin American, North American, Southeast Asian, Oceanic, Korean. We've got it all except for Europe. Yeah.
We really need the brothers to come back.
Exactly.
The ZA brothers.
we do. And Starduck, you're asking, hey, where is GPO today? We have postponed GPO this week. It is not a thing because we do not want to take away. We want everyone to tune in to Super Tournament. The semis and the finals are tonight for some of the best Korean StarCraft out there right now. So yeah.
Starting in about 3.5 hours, and let me just say, if you've been following Super Tournament so far, this is going to be or even if you were watching any of the online Asia tournaments like ESL or Oli Moly, stuff like that, these are just about the most appropriate players to make it to the round of 4.
Definitely. So yeah, be sure to tune in to that. And with that, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Gracias todos. I don't know any Portuguese, but we do have our new Portuguese overlords here in Copa Hyperion.
Mamma mia.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bella.